Ladies and gentlemen, what's poppin'? It's your boy Larry Q. Joint Jr., the HNICEO here, Larry Joint Music, and I just wanted to take a couple minutes to explain to you what the AMIF is. For those of you who follow me on Facebook, you know what I'm saying, or friends with me, I probably been getting on your nerves with this hashtag AMIF. You know what I'm saying? I've been posting pictures of being at people's cribs, talking about stuff. In certain instances, I've made posts and tagged you and confused the heck out of you. You know what I mean? Here's what the AMIF is, man. The AMIF is an acronym for the American Musicians Improvisational Forum, right? Uh, being a jazz drummer, and the reason why I gravitated to jazz, I didn't realize this until I really got into it, is that I've always wanted to improvise. You know what I'm saying? So like even whenever I was like learning like all my Keith Moon stuff, you know what I'm saying? I grew up hearing the Who. Whenever I was learning all that stuff, uh I was always trying to learn it, but then I was always trying to change it and make it mine, you know. And then my mom, who was actually my first musical instructor, who's a vocalist, she was always telling me, she was like, Quint, you gotta make it your own. You know what I'm saying? You need to learn it the way that they did it, but then you need to immediately internalize it and play it how you would do it so that people can feel it, right? So I've been pursuing improvisation really my entire musical pursuit, which has basically been all my life. You know what I'm saying? I've been banging on stuff, trying to figure stuff out all my life. Okay. Now the beautiful thing about being self-taught first was that it gave me time to really develop and understand how I learned, uh and you know what I'm saying, and what I was trying to, whenever I am learning a piece of music, what am I trying to get out of this? Like, you know what I'm saying? That was a cool thing about being self-taught. I was able to develop those skills. What I thought was common sense was really just God speaking to me. Just like, yo, you need to learn this because this is going to get your singles right. You need to learn this because this is going to get your right foot right. You need to learn this because this is going to work out your left foot. Boom, boom, bam. Okay. So whenever I came to formalize training, like the really structured system of approaching uh learning music already made perfect sense to me. It was like, oh, okay, this is, so I was right. You know what I'm saying? The way that I kind of internally or intrinsically knew how to practice. Wow, this is how you're supposed to practice. Um, and so That's the first point that I want to make about the AMIF. I'm I want to put together, the AMIF is not just for jazz musicians. The AMIF is not just for gospel musicians. It's not just for rock musicians. It's not just for R&B musicians. It's for American musicians. It's actually for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because now everything's about world music. But the reason why I'm calling it the American Musicians Improvisational Forum is because all American music has either some element of spirituals, blues, or jazz. You know what I'm saying? All American music. And so what we're uh what we're trying to get at is we're trying to deal with the harmonic aspects of American music, which is primarily blues based. You know what I'm saying? With, and then there are two different perspectives, you know what I'm saying, coming up out of that. And then we're trying to deal with the rhythmic bass, which is primarily West African, but it's been influenced and it's been modified and it's been married, you know what I'm saying, with some European influences. So we're dealing with, once again, it's the American Musicians Improvisational Forum. So like I said, this just ain't for one specific genre. Now, you got to understand, since I'm organizing it, I am coming at it with a jazz paradigm, but what I mean by that is that there's a certain clarity and focus and standard of excellence that you have to have as a jazz musician. Not saying that other genres of music don't have it, but jazz, let's just keep it real. Jazz is harder than everything else, right? So the standard that you have to come up to, you know what I'm saying, is a little bit higher. I'm not trying to be a jazz snob. I'm just, you know what I'm saying, stating truth, right? So that kind of intensity and that kind of rigor, I want to help cultivate that in a rock musician. I want to help cultivate that in a gospel musician. I want to help cultivate, because we all trying to get at, I like what Duke Ellington said. Duke Ellington said that there's only two genres of music: good music and bad music. You know what I'm saying? So we're all trying to get to the same thing. I'll say it to you like this: if you were tired of sounding sad, you know what I'm saying? If you're the kind of musician where you take inventory of yourself and you keep it 100 with yourself, if you were tired of sounding sad, come kick it with us. Because the people that have been coming, you know what I'm saying, and the people that have been hitting me up, we've the common denominator that we all have is like, okay, I've reached the point in my plan where I'm just tired of sucking at this. You know what I'm saying? There are certain cats like, okay, for certain there's some gospel musicians, they're tired of using the transpose button. You know what I'm saying? They're like, yo, this don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? I'm going on 33 years old. You know what I'm saying? I'm still using the transpose button. The heck with this. I'm gonna get nice in all 12 keys. You know what I mean? Uh, there there's certain rhythmic things that certain jazz cats who are like really strong harmonically, they lack with the rhythm piece. So they're there for that. You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and let me say this. I'm breaking it up into two classes. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have one there's gonna be for beginners, and then we're gonna have one that's, you know what I'm saying, gonna be a little bit more advanced. But I encourage you to check them all out, because if Sonny Rollins runs through his major scales, you know what I'm saying, every time he practices, then logic dictates that we're in comparison to Sonny Rollins, we all suck. So we all need to be in an environment where we run through the scales. And so one thing that I appreciate about my friends, you know what I'm saying, and the people that are involved with this project, you know what I'm saying, that have been coming, they know stuff that I don't know. You know what I mean? And so a lot of times, like if I'm explaining something, and then and then one of my brothers or one of my sisters has a more expedient way of explaining it, I ain't dumb. I'm gonna let them do their thing. And once again, that's the type of environment that we're trying to foster. One where everybody can utilize their talents and their gifts to their maximum potential, and we can use our greatness to stir up the greatness in other people. So yo, I'll say this and I'll shut up. If you would like to be a part of what we're doing, and you're in the greater Greensboro Triad area, right? Uh, Go ahead and shoot me an email. Go ahead and subscribe to my email list at larrydrummusic.com, right? We're going to begin Ustreaming and then uploading, you know what I'm saying, those Ustream videos to YouTube. You know what I mean? So if you want to follow us, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Go ahead to my website, larrydrummusic.com. That's DRAUGHN. And you see it in the caption as well. Go to my website, shoot me your email, and I'll send you the assignments, and yo, you can follow along, because at the end of the day, man, you know what I mean? I'm tired of sounding sad. I'm tired of sucking at certain things, and I'm trying to bring as many people along with me. You dig? And it don't matter where you at. You know what I'm saying? We all trying to grow together. So, I reckon that's it. Love you. More importantly, Jesus loves you. Peace.